All right, welcome back in. It is a Friday edition of the Daily Fix and a little Red Friday action as the Chiefs look to get to 9-0. We'll get to all of that and everything that happens in the NFL coming up on Sunday as we get ready for this weekend. But as you see there, this is the Daily Fix with your host, Ron Hughley, in the building. There you see Steve Serta as well as he is along for the ride. As always, first thing I do need you to do, I don't need you to do nothing. First, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for, picking us. Hopefully you're picking us daily, 12 o'clock noon every day as the Daily Fix is on. And it is presented by Foolish Club Media. If you're listening to us on Twitter, X, we appreciate you very much. If you're listening to us on YouTube, we appreciate you there as well. The thing I do want and need you to do, though, is please head to our YouTube channel, Foolish Club Media, like and subscribe at Foolish Club Media, and help us grow as we are the fastest growing / slowest growing digital platform today. So help us out. And remember, if you do not like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, you're preventing my children from eating. All right, not going to hold you long as usual. A few things to get wrong or to get to you. But speaking of wrong, I was wrong. I feel like I was wrong on something and pleasantly wrong because I've been very, very impressed by this that I was wrong about. Big day for the great one. Big day for the great one coming up. But I want to start here. Throw my 2 minutes up there, Steve. I don't know about you, Serta. I don't know about you, the Chiefs football fan that's taking this in right now. I'm a little uncomfortable with my level of confidence for the Chiefs right now. I am just a smidge uncomfortable right now with my level of confidence with the Chiefs team as it's not just because they're undefeated or whatever, but this is over what they've won 14 in a row. This is over a long period of time. And Steve, I still don't think in that 14 game stretch, I've seen the Lions play what I see as their A game. I think they A gamed the Cowboys a few weeks ago. I think I've seen what their A game is. Steve, I don't think the Chiefs have played an A game in any of the 14 games that they have won in a row. There is not one point where you're like, oh boy, like they came down and they were hitting it on all cylinders, on offense, on defense. I mean, I'm talking against anybody. Like, I don't think they have played an A game. And I think that's where my confidence really grows with the Chiefs, Serta, is I don't think there is a team in the National Football League where they got to come out and bring their A game. Like even the Lions, I don't think that they have to be just like Patrick Mahomes. There are some games over the years we have looked at it, Steve, we're like, all right, Patrick Mahomes got to have an over my dead body game. He can't turn the ball over. He's got to be the best player on the field. The defense has to. I don't think that they have to be special to beat anybody in the league. And my confidence in where they are is just so much higher than anybody else, Steve. It is the weirdest thing. And I don't think I should be that confident. Hell, they just went to overtime with Baker Mayfield and Otten of the Buccaneers. But my confidence has never been higher on the Chiefs in my entire life than it is right now.
Well, and I feel like this is why people get so angry about Chiefs fans, because they're like, oh, Chiefs fans are so full of themselves and they're so overconfident. And it's like, well, why wouldn't we be? Because we've seen it every turn. This team gets it done when they absolutely have to. Like,
no matter how they play.
Like, what did it take for them to lose a Super Bowl? It took the offensive line totally falling apart in the playoffs and them trotting out a line full of backups against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What did it take for them to lose an AFC championship game to the Cincinnati Bengals and not make the Super Bowl that year? It took the worst half of football of Patrick Mahomes' career that he has not replicated since. Like, it took those were the outlier circumstances for the Kansas City Chiefs. So like now we have a larger sample size of this team overcoming the odds over and over and over again and getting it done and just proving that they know how to win better than anybody else in the league does. So I think it's deserved. Like it's deserved confidence in this team. And this is what happens too when you draft and develop and you do an incredible job of building up both sides of your team. Offensively, the confidence waned a little bit the last couple of years, but our confidence has only grown in the defensive side of the ball. And the reason they can overcome all of their mistakes and miscues and whatever is because of the talent they have on both sides of the ball, the complete nature of their football team and their coaching. Like it's just better than anybody else in the league, and it's not particularly close.
I was uncomfortable with how nonchalant I was feeling in the entirety of that game against the Bucks. I'm a pacer. I never got up from my couch, and I had my foot up on the ottoman the whole time. I had never once in my mind entertained them losing that game, and that's a little uncomfortable. I don't care if they lost the coin toss. I am uncomfortable with that. All right, speaking of the game on Sunday, I think the Chiefs will get to 9-0 against this Broncos team. I think they're a couple of years away, but they've been playing hard. I think they'd be in the playoffs if it started. They've got the doors blown off on them by the Ravens. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I think the Chiefs are going to 41-10 them. But I have now started to get to a point where now I'm expecting Mahomes to follow up, and I'm expecting a big day from Mahomes. We saw, Lamar went 16 for 19 for like a 280 and 3 touchdowns and, went off against this defense and attacked them and had a big day. And it feels like Mahomes is getting more comfortable and playing much better the last couple of weeks. Like we haven't seen like just egregious decisions and interceptions. Like over the last 3 games, the interceptions he's given up is the 2 tipped balls by defensive linemen, and one a defensive lineman tipped and caught it himself, which is, an amazing play. And, he goes, 291, 3 touchdowns and no interceptions in the game against the Bucks. Had, multiple touchdowns against the Raiders. This is starting to me to come around. And I think the big thing is, Steve, I'm seeing a different level of trust that he has. And the offense sort of just looks more in sync, more flow. Like everything appeared to be hard over the last year and a half at times. Like where it wasn't just easy. And like now when you see him do that the little number that he's doing there where he's like, give me the next play where he said he doesn't even know he's doing it. It's coming off of like easy stuff, right? Like It is like Kelsey, nobody around him, bam, easy. At least third down, like them third down conversions that he had. I mean, they weren't difficult. I mean, he's just bam, 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 bam. Just back to easy stuff, easy completions. And I expect that to continue, that he has another big game like he's had, because this thing is growing. He trusts Hopkins. He is trusting, I think, maybe even his own line better. I don't think he trusts his left tackle, but he is trusting things a bit better, and the offense flow just looks better. There's easy money that we're starting to see from this team that we hadn't seen, I'd argue the last year and a half.
It just further illustrates, and I know there's tons of people out there right now that want to argue like, oh, this Chiefs team doesn't have it. Like they're not as good. And it's like, did you watch a single game that they played last season? Because I think this team, the way it's currently constructed, and that probably prior to the cornerback injuries, but I think this team prior to the Jalen Watson injury was better with DeAndre Hopkins than they were last season. And that was a historically great defense. But the third down thing just further proves that they're operating on a different level than everybody else is, because when they absolutely have to get it done, they just find a way to get it done. And on third downs, that their success rate being so high compared to first and second is an insane stat, but that just further proves what they've shown us the last several years.
They are starting to roll, and we'll see if they can continue. But I expect a over 260, multiple touchdown game. Hopefully no picks if he, avoids Patrick Surtain. Like let's probably do that, which I know he won't. But I think there's going to be some big play elements. We're going to start to see the other things that's left off. I want to take this time before we get into, as we get into Sunday. I'm dead wrong about this player, and he is becoming exciting to watch. I'm dead wrong about Drake May. And it is because, like, I don't know about you. I thought,
awesome.
God, man. I thought we lost him. I thought that this was going to be Mitch Trubisky, and not just because they both went to North Carolina. Like, to me, it was clear, like, this guy is the one that ain't ready, and he's going to New England. And now at least it's not, Matt Patricia and Joe Judge taking over for it, but Alex Van Pelt with the Browns for all those years, it ain't that much better. I didn't think this kid had a chance, but man, he's got no weapons at all, and you can see it. And I watched him his first game out against the Texans, and like there were some issues there, but you could see like he wasn't afraid of the moment. He could make plays. His teammates feel him. And, he's kind of got a little bit of that white unicorn in him. If you don't know what that white unicorn means, the white unicorn means the toughest guy, the toughest thing to flip is the white guy that has the ability to flip the white girl who has only predominantly dated black guys in her life. Those the white guys that have the ability to do that. There are a select few: Justin Timberlake, Travis Kelce, Bill Clinton. There's a select few of guys that have the ability to do that. And I think Blake Snell, the pitcher, I think that Drake May kind of has that feel. He's comfortable everywhere. But I mean, he made plays against the Titans last week. I mean, I was like, what the hell happened? He looked like Josh Allen out there. So shout out to Drake May. I thought Drake May was a bust waiting to happen. It was going to get everybody fired over there in New England. But I think they found the guy. If they could just get the offensive coach around him and they can get some weapons, I really like what I'm seeing from Drake May.
He's a fun player, and the Patriots have one of the worst rosters in the NFL. They were totally unwatchable with Jacoby Brissett as their starting quarterback, and he's actually made them interesting because he's fun to watch because he will go out there and make plays, and he's a really underrated rusher. Like, he can really run the football, and he's not afraid to create plays with his legs, and that like he's just an exciting player that has made one of the worst teams in the NFL slightly interesting, because you can see the potential in him as a player.
Steve, he looks like a poor man's Josh Allen at times out there. And he's accurate with the ball. He run, like you said, he runs. Like, I mean, my man, to calm down. My man was knocked out of the last game he played with a concussion. And my man in that game against the Titans was just running and diving head first with defenders in front of him. He might want to slip into a slide there, but like I'm into what he's bringing to the table. Shout out to you, Drake May. Sometimes I'm wrong on things, and I've been wrong on Drake May. How about these quarterbacks? All of these jokers are doing something. Not all of them, but a lot of these guys that were drafted look promising. I'm and Courtney.